Hello everyone, this is Alex from Life with Gadgets, and in today's video we're going to look at the performance of the Wii U emulation on the Ayaneo Air using the Cemu emulator. I think it's absolutely fantastic, and I'll be showing you different segments of games, and I'll show you some on-screen recorded videos so that you can see exactly what it looks like when you're playing and the FPS counter on the top left. And then I'll show you some footage of me actually playing a couple of different games. But just off the bat, I can say the performance is absolutely amazing, and games look fantastic on this OLED screen. For the best performance, I'll be running games at 12 watts TDP. You can see it right there. You can run some games at 8 watts. The problem is that you're probably going to get an FPS of around 30 FPS, whereas if you run at 12 watts or above, you're going to get a solid 60 FPS. Obviously, depending on the game, some of them are more demanding than others, and you might have to go to 15 watts. But generally speaking, you can run most games at 12 watts and they will run at 60 FPS. As I said, the games look absolutely amazing on the screen, and the emulation is just fantastic. One thing to note as well is that some games, most of the games, when you start off playing them, you will notice some stuttering here and there, but that's absolutely normal. That's because the shaders are being compiled, and this happens as well with the Dolphin emulator. In fact, it happens with pretty much every emulator out there for consoles. But once you've played through a good chunk of the stage you're playing, and all the compilers, all the shades have been compiled, you will notice that the game is absolutely fluid and runs perfectly well. So yeah, I'm not going to delay things any further. I'm going to jump straight into footage. It won't be a very long video, but hopefully it'll be enough to show you how good the performance is of the Wii U emulation. And as always, please like and subscribe. And if you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. I hope you enjoy the video, guys. Okay, so let's walk through the settings very quickly. What you will notice is that I haven't actually changed anything. The settings that I have here in my console are pretty much default settings. If we go to general settings, I haven't touched anything here. But the main one you probably want to look at is the graphics settings. And again, as you can see, I haven't really touched anything. These are all the default settings, and I haven't changed anything purely because I didn't need to. Everything works absolutely fantastic out of the box. Like I did mention, you will need to put your TDP to 12 watts. But for some very demanding games such as Mario Kart, you may want to push it up to 15, but I didn't see a need for that. 12 watts was enough. But as I mentioned, remember that there will be some stuttering due to the compiling of the shaders. Some other games such as Super Mario, you can actually play it at 8 watts, but you're going to get an FPS of around 30. So I just generally leave it at 12 watts. But as I said, the settings you have here are pretty much default settings. I haven't changed anything. The only thing that you do have to bear in mind is that when you download a game to play on the emulator, you should download the graphic packs as well. So for example, if I go to options and I click on graphic packs, you will see that I have graphic packs for all the games that I have. Now this is important because graphic packs are useful because they improve graphical quality and they also fix some bugs. For example, with the new Super Mario Bros, there is a bug where sometimes the game will not launch past the menu screen. Well, if that happens to you, when you download the graphics packs for Super Mario, you will be able to enable this workaround here, and you will notice that the game will work after the menu screen. So it's important to include that. Also, if you go to graphics, you can change the resolution of the game, and you can change the different quality settings here. These are the settings that I have for Super Mario Bros. Again, this is purely default settings. I haven't changed anything. You could go higher if you wanted to, but then obviously that's going to affect your performance. I noticed that running at 720, the performance is great as you get 60 FPS. And again, you don't really need anything higher for this handheld. it already looks fantastic. I have a similar thing for Super Mario World 3D, where you will see that in my graphics settings, I have a resolution set to 720, and I also have shutter resolution set to medium. Again, these are things that you might want to do yourself as well. You can play around with them, but these are pretty much default settings, but they do really improve the performance of the games. For Mario Kart 8, I don't actually have anything enabled, but again, these are the different settings that you could choose from. And if you want, again, you can choose all these different graphical settings and you can change them, modify them as you see fit. But I typically leave them by default unless there's a particular fix that I need to do, such as the one for Super Mario Bros. Again, it doesn't hurt if you actually enable 720 by default, because it really does help the performance, but you don't have to. You can leave it all as default settings. And again, we have a similar situation with Donkey Kong. If you click on resolution, you can then force it to 720 to improve performance. But this is not something that you need to do. It's entirely up to you, really. And that's pretty much it, really. If you want to know how to download the graphics packs, basically when you click on options, go to graphics packs and then click on download latest community graphics packs. So I've already got all of them, as I showed you, for my games. If you didn't have them downloaded, when you click on that, it will automatically download them for you. And as I said, go into the settings, into the graphics pack settings, and play around with them if you want to try and improve performance. But as I said, leaving it in default, it already looks amazing. You'll see that in a moment. And that's it. Once you've done your settings, all you have to do is double click on the game and let it run and enjoy it. I will now show you some footage of the different games that I have so that you can see how well they perform. I hope you enjoy the video, guys.
Okie dokie. Let's play. Let's go. Oh yeah, Mario time. Yeah. Let's go. Woohoo! Woo!